Hey guys, so this is the first video in a new series I want to do. It's going to be on all the hoppers out right now, all like the top tier hoppers, and I'm going to try and find out which hoppers are best, which one you should get. I'm going to be going over, say, the TFX, the LVL, the Spire 3, the Spire, the original 200 Spires, the Vulcan hopper, like all the high-end hoppers. Today we're going to be going over the TFX, as you could probably tell from the title. So yeah, I've had this hopper for 3 or 4 months. I've been using it every weekend, and yeah, I'll just get into it. First things first, how does it feed? It's fast, reliable, and soft on paint, so there's not much more you could ask for. I know there's a team local here that's playing the CXBL, and some dudes with Spires couldn't get their guns to shoot 15 BPS because that's what they shoot in the CXBL, so they'd either get a rotor or a TFX. So feeding shouldn't be an issue. I don't know many of any leagues that shoot faster than 15 BPS, so you should be going on that. Also, one of my friends, one of his detents on his gun was really kind of iffy. It was he should have replaced it, but he didn't have any replacements. So when he used other hoppers on it, it would like double feed, triple feed, stuff like that. But with the TFX, it wasn't. So that leads me to assume that it doesn't have as much like pressure on the ball stack, so it's going to be softer on paint, so you can feed more fragile paint. And since it has an actual switch that will turn the hopper on and off instead of relying on sound or tension on the ball stack, I also think it makes it very reliable. You never find people like hitting on their TFXs to try and get them start feeding like you see with Spires and pulling on that little fin hook like they have on the rotors. So I think that's pretty good, pretty reliable hopper. Also, compared to other hoppers, the TFX is pretty quiet. Well, it has paintballs in it, but it's not feeding. It's not like pulsing like a Spire. And then when it's empty, it's not as loud as a rotor that's just grinding like a blender. It still is loud, obviously, since it's an empty hopper and it's constantly feeding, but I don't find it as irritating as other hoppers, which is also nice because I take a lot of like barrel cam videos, and the TFX, while it's loud, isn't like annoyingly loud. From all the hoppers I've used, I think the TFX has the best lid system. It has a little tab here that you pull down, and it comes right up. I've never had my lid pop open like doing a bad slide or something, and it's just really super simple. It's not super hard to wrench off. It's not anything annoying. I haven't had it break like other hoppers I've had. So for the lid, like A plus, best lid on any hopper speed feed thing. You know what I'm saying. The shell's also a very durable material. It reminds me of the rotor. So yeah, A plus for that. It's cool design, right? Looking A because it's HK. So it's got a good shell, but the little decals, like this one right here, it's hard to tell because it's all black. On this side, it just busted out. Also, I've seen these buttons. I've seen the rubber tear off on people's hoppers. So while the shell's strong and good, the little decals, things that make it look nice, aren't that good. They can break easily. So watch out for that. Staying on the top of the shell, it comes apart pretty easily. I like it. First, you take off the lid. There's a tab right here. Pull up on that. Then this one, boom, comes apart in two halves. I like that it comes apart in two halves. It doesn't have a hinge right here where it's just kind of awkward to try and get into your hopper. So it just comes apart real easy, and then continue. Oh, there's a black tab here. Sorry, it's hard to show you. But you push forward on that. Tray comes out. Bam. All done. No wonky pieces falling off the side like the LVL. No hinge. Nothing silly. But yeah, no, I really like how the shell comes apart. While we're in here, I'm going to show you something I don't like. This tray is supposed to decompress and hold an extra 16 paintballs or something, and then like it also is a ramp in design. But if you look at it, this is kind of hard to tell. You're gonna have to take my word for it. This tray sits slightly below the hard plastic right here, so paintballs can get caught in here, and you'll be tilting your hopper trying to get the last paintballs to feed. I wish they just never had this spring ramp, and it was just up like this the whole time, maybe even more dramatic of an angle. That way I wouldn't have to be moving around my hopper trying to get that last couple paintballs to feed. I know one of my friends, he shoved some paper towel under this to make it sit at the same plane as his plastic so that he didn't have that issue, but it's just, that's a bad thing. You shouldn't have to shove paper towel under your spring ramp to make it feed. So hopefully that's something they fixed in the TFX2. I know they did change the angle, but as for this tray, I don't know if it's still sitting below the plane of the plastic. So that's one thing to watch out for. While we're here, I'll go into another thing I don't like about this hopper. With a Spire, you can just take off your cone. You can wipe off the middle, wipe off your cone, pop it back on. It takes like no time at all. With this, it's kind of more tricky. You got to take off this piece, Then there's this other guy you got to take off. Then you can clean this out. And then this tray, you just kind of have to press it down and try and get all the angles, because I don't really see an easy way of taking this thing out, I guess. There's a way to take it off, but it's just not as easy as a Spire. You just pop it right off, or a rotor where there's two. The rotor's kind of in between. The Spire's the easiest. This one's kind of hard. LVL's even harder. But like a Prophecy's like the hardest, and then the rotor's in the middle. So it's not the hardest hopper to clean, but it's also not the easiest. So that's something you'd have to watch out for. It will take you time to clean it. Like, you're not gonna pop this open and clean it in between a point, which I have done with Aspire. So just be mindful of that. Another issue with the TFXs is quality control. I had a teammate whose hopper the motor stopped working. There's no reason why. He didn't do anything wrong. He didn't get it wet. Nothing happened. His motor just broke. Couldn't get it fixed. Messaged HK. They couldn't fix it for him. And he ended up just buying a different hopper because he couldn't get his TFX to work, and HK couldn't help him. So you got to watch out that if you get a lemon, HK might not help you and fix your hopper. They might try and charge you for all the parts. And instead of buying a whole new motor for his hopper, he just went and got a different hopper. He got himself an LVL and a Aspire 3 instead. So if you're buying new, you kind of just have to hope it works, and hope if it is broken, it's broken right away, not like my friend where it broke after a bit of time. Or if you get used, make sure you try it and use it instead of like having it shipped across to you and then have it be a lemon. Also, when talking about any paintball equipment, price is always something you need to think about. So they're $200 brand new, but the TFX2 just came out. They're $200 as well. So hopefully there'll be a sale on TFX ones. You can get them cheaper. In Canada, they're $270 on Badlands, which sucks being in Canada, right? Used in Canada, they're like $120, and I think that's a pretty good bang for your buck. Obviously, that's why I use them. To conclude, I like the TFX. I think it's a good hopper. I definitely suggest it. It really surprised me coming from HK. I had a KLR, which is kind of like their first jersey pant kind of thing they made, and it kind of sucked. The foam would tear off of it. The lenses would get warped. It was just not a good match. So when the HK came out with the loader, I was very skeptical. I was like, okay, these party guys are making a hopper now, so what's that going to be like? But it really surprised me. It's really good. I definitely suggest it. It's better than other hoppers in its price range. So obviously you'll have to watch the rest of the videos I'm going to be making to see which one my favorite is.